What y'all people? It's a nice day out here, man. What's up, man? Good to see y'all. Just chilling. See you already positive vibes. But I really came outside just to talk about, how ways to deal with and handle feelings of loneliness and isolation, as we all from time to time go through this, or we all from time to time feel this, especially at times like these. Is more prevalent than it's ever been. But for me, personal experiences, I've gone through a lot of times feeling alone or just isolated, even sometimes around other people. Sorry about that. Even sometimes around other people, I may get these feelings, and it's easy to dive in a deep hole from that. It's easy to get real negative and real worried that the circumstances will always stay the same. And for me, what I've learned helps when I feel lonely or when I feel like isolated is to first of all find a positive thought, as well as find time to get into whatever it is that makes me happy. Whatever it is, like I could go take a walk, you know what I mean? I could be in the nature. I could connect with myself. I play music, whatever music that can inspire me, I play it. And it helps because what the music does for me is it gives me energy. It gives me that vibrance in my inside of me to feel better. You know what I mean? Excuse me. And then being out in nature, like I always talk about, the health benefits of it, feeling better, feeling free, feeling recharged, feeling uplifted when you just connect outside through nature. You see what I'm saying? It feels good. So it's like I'm already feeling lonely. I'm already feeling isolated. Why not just be by myself and enjoy the nature and become one with it? You know what I'm saying? And then little by little, you learn to be comfortable. Not in a bad way neither, because you got to be uncomfortable too to grow, but you learn to be, because a lot of us are uncomfortable with being alone. But with this stuff I'm just talking to you about, you learn how to be comfortable being alone. You know what I mean? With it feeling easier. You know what I mean? You're not just sitting at home alone by yourself, letting your mind just race. You actually being by yourself, you taking yourself outside, and you just enjoying the air. You're present within yourself rather than trying to find different ways to escape yourself. So I know it could be rough being lonely at times, or feeling lonely and feeling isolated. As I said, I've been through it a lot. In some ways, I feel like that now, but I allow my peace to be myself. You know what I mean? The very reason of feeling lonely, just always being alone by yourself, that's what I find to be my peace. And I find my peace in that, and I become more positive. I feel more lighter in my body, and I can be more optimistic to knowing that I won't always feel this way. It's just a period of time where maybe it's God asking me, or whatever you believe in as a higher power, asking me to sit with myself, focus, regroup. And you learn a lot that way. You learn that you learn to value simple things in life. You learn to value your own free time. You learn to value the songs you listening to. You feel what I'm saying? You learn to value everything. You learn to value why this song makes me feel this way. You learn to value your passions. You find your passions through being alone. Because it's definitely not easy. It's not easy when, at times you feel like you just, what's up, man? When you feel like you just like set apart from everything else that's going on. Whether it be from friends, whether it be family, or whatever it is. You feel separated and you can't understand why. It can definitely be frustrating, especially for a lot of us who seek or want romance. That can really make it feel even lonelier, because there's people that's lonely and they're in relationships. But when you're not in one, you can feel very lonely. You can feel like I have no one to talk to when things are wrong. I have no one to be next to and be near, to be intimate with. And it's like it feels like you're just all by yourself. But the beauty is that you are by yourself, and that you can cope with everything how you feel you should cope with it, rather than I don't like to use the word cope, but you can get through by yourself. Because I've learned this a lot. I'd rather be dealing with these feelings alone, literally without a girlfriend, than to be feeling this way with one, and allowing the loneliness to force me into. What's up, man?
Hold on, man.
Same
old shit, different day, bro.
Yes, sir. Forcing me into seek after certain partners that wouldn't be for me. We wouldn't be like-minded. We wouldn't have a lot of the same values, and there would be a disconnect. So it's like I might as well take this time and be by myself and really get to know who I am and embrace this time, because it's valuable, man. So I'm encouraging anybody out there who may feel lonely, just understand that it's not forever. It's not forever. And if you feel isolated, just know that I've been there too. But I navigate through it. I find ways to still be happy, still be joyful. And that's what it is, because it all starts with ourselves. Now that doesn't mean that it's easy. It doesn't mean that I don't be frustrated myself with it. Trust me, I get frustrated by it. Like, it feels it just feels like you're just stuck inside of a box where there's nothing, there's no escape. But there really is, though. And that's inside of you. It's always going to be peace. It's always going to be love, too, man. Always know that. Always have that self-love and have that self-awareness, and be what you want to attract. Be what it is you want to attract, and have the patience, and rather than fighting that you feel lonely or that you feel isolated. And when I mean fighting it is, don't act like you don't feel that way. It's important to acknowledge that you have these feelings. So at that point, you can work toward finding a solution You get what I'm saying? To handle these feelings, so whereas you could turn these negatives that are seen as negatives into positives. Well, we all feel alone at times. Some of it, like I said, some of us more than others. But you can become strong this way. You don't have to be weak. You don't have to, and you're not weak because you feel this way. You're strong when you could acknowledge it and be accepting to it. What's up, man? And then not allow it to keep you stuck. Because at that point, then it's our fault if we allow it to keep us stuck, keep us in negative cycles and different things like that. For me personally, like, you know me, I'm a little bit more, I see things a little bit more different than a lot of the people I'm around. Not all, but a lot of the people I'm around. So it causes me to feel like I'm alone, or I don't really have the reception of the things that I may want to talk about that I get into on here. But I'm not just gonna let it stop me. I know I still got myself. I could get into it on my own. I could study it on my own. I could focus within myself. You get what I mean? And then when I see like-minded people or get around them, that's my opportunity to let it out. And then also, I just come put myself out there and express it in this platform. So at least that way, I don't just feel like it's just being restricted. Even if it feels like that, like I said, when I'm around certain environments where it's not as many like-minded people, I still know that, okay, this is just temporarily. But I still have my mind to think what I want to think while I'm around. And then once I leave that environment, I just can really be free to just explore the way I want. So I know a lot of people is fighting at themselves. We're looking for like-minded people. We're looking for environments that can be sacred to us. And we can't all necessarily get right to those places. So in the meantime, while we are in process, we have to embrace it. We have to embrace that. We have to carve our own way. And the more and more we keep carving our own way within certain feelings of confinement, the floodgates is going to start opening for us. Because we stayed steadfast, we stayed motivated, we stayed connected to the source. We stay spiritually guided. So when we stay spiritually guided, as long as we're putting in the practical work on a day-to-day, even within how hard it can be in this society that we live in, with the way it's currently constructed, we still reap benefits. We still can be rewarded with a lot of abundance, and whichever way or how we may have manifested that for ourselves in our own lives. So stay encouraged. Understand, we all feel lonely at times. We all feel alone. We all feel isolated. But it's fine though. It's fine. Now let me say this too. Isolation isn't always a bad thing, as long as you're isolated because you really want to feel what you feel, because you want to really get to the root of the problems, and that you want to grow, and that you just want to get to know who you are a little bit better. Now when it's not good is when you just want to run away from the world, and you don't want to deal with what comes with being a part of the world at large. So it's like you're hiding. You never want to be a hider. You never want to, I don't want to talk to nobody ever, because that just builds more resentment and bitterness, and you tend to, in that mind frame, harp on everything that's been bad and don't really come to solutions that way. So if you feel like you may want to isolate and you do have that mind state, just take it outside. Take it outside. Walk around with it. Get on a bike. Ride that. Go in a park by yourself. So at least you're outside. At least you're a part of good energy. Feel what I'm saying? So that's a lot of what I really had to say right now, and I know that it'll help somebody. So I'm gonna leave that there, and just know that I love you all. I appreciate you all, and sky ain't even the limit, man. It's really not. It's really not. We can keep going and we can keep going. We can keep going, all right? Love yourself. Peace. Peace, peace, peace. And remember, you can overcome. And the loneliness that you feel is temporarily.